Hey guys, and welcome to Let's Draw Jolyne Kujo from Jojo Part 6, or Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6. Oh wow, redlining my audio already. Ah, great. Well, yeah, this is Jojo, God, I can't speak today. Jolyne Kujo, daughter of Jotaro Kujo. Protagonist of Part 3, this is protagonist of Part 6. You can see the correlation there. Part 3, Part 6, yeah. Works out. Multiple of the 2, I think. Yeah, multiple of 2. And I'm drawing her with her stand, StoneFree, which I think is a reference to a Jimi Hendrix song, I believe. Ah, boy, Iraqi really likes his silly band and, like, singer and songwriter references in his manga. Yeah, I just felt like drawing a picture for the YouTubes. Gotta get back into doing this. I would do more of these if I had a better computer, but that's no good, so Eventually I'll get a better computer, and I'll be able to do more of these. Like, a lot more. All the time. Non-stop. Yeah, no coffee this time. Already drank all that. Actually trying to sort of cut down on coffee because I tend to drink too much. But it's whatever. Everything in moderation. But yeah, Jolyne's actually one of my favorite JoJo protagonists, mainly because I actually really can't pinpoint a direct reason why. I just like her design, her character. Her stand's pretty cool looking too. Her stand's power is... I got hiccups. Her stand's power is kind of interesting in the sense that it's just like strings or spiderweb in like layman's terms. But it's all super strong and can do a bunch of stuff. Also, she does that aura stuff, which is radical. Yeah, back to the picture though. I'm just working on the lines. I'm actually drawing this on my laptop, which is alright. But it has a smaller screen, obviously, so it was very awkward to draw on this laptop again. Everything is more condensed, so I don't need to do like huge brush strokes on like a giant monitor anymore. Oh, recently. Darn birds tripping outside. What are you tripping at, birds? And this image actually took a lot longer because halfway through my laptop started to like overheat and go nuts on me. That was a fun day. Actually, that was a pretty fun day. I went out and got DQ, got some Dairy Queen. I think I got some... What did I get that day? I got like... I didn't get a Blizzard. I got a sundae with like a burger and stuff. It's pretty good. Got my sister an Orange Julius because she never tried it before. Pretty good. And I was gonna add the base to Jolyne so I can add the base. Come on now, drop the base now. Come on, do it. There you go. Yeah, just add in the base so I can later go over with the colors and the black colors and make sure that I got all the tiny bits and bobs. When doing cross hatching, it's always so tedious that there's so many tiny little spots that get missed. Around the eyes as well, all that stuff. Not much to say really right now about the what I'm doing. Gotta paint on some lips. I actually, yeah, I can't talk. I actually don't know how to draw lips. Like, I never learned, and it's still a tough thing for me to do. So whenever I draw lips, anything that look remotely like lips, I'll take it. I'm not very good. I've even looked at tutorials for how to draw lips, and I still can't do it. I know that there's the upper lip, lower lip, and that there's one's darker than the other, I think. I'm not actually sure. Yes, adding some finishing touches to the lips right now. And as soon as I go and start on the hair, you're gonna realize, why didn't you draw the eye? Why don't you paint the eye in? Well, because I wasn't really paying attention to that. Oh, I'll get to that later, though. Now, I couldn't remember whether her eyes were black or her main hair color, well, not main, but her secondary hair color, which is green. So I just went with it, and I just made it black. All those tiny little spots on the hair, so annoying. Yeah, not much to say right now. Just doing the hair. Actually, there's some other things I can say. I've been playing some Demon Souls and Dark Souls 1. Demon Souls and Dark Souls 1. I don't have Dark Souls 2, but I hear good things and bad things. Been getting more excited for Bloodborne though, whenever I get that PS4. Bloodborne looks to be super sweet. I also saw a guy on YouTube who had alpha footage of Bloodborne. It was pretty cool. There was a lot of missing textures and stuff though, a lot of the ground textures weren't there until you activated the switch, or they were just not there at all, or they were having problems loading the textures in the ground assets. There was some stuff like that. There was a new boss that was a Reaper guy. I think he was a priest and a Reaper at the same time. And if he kills you, he praises Umbasa, which is from Demon Souls, and that's pretty cool. I want more Umbasa in my life. Screw praising the sun, praise Umbasa, yo. Except for Umbasa's a piece of shit and leaves the world to ruin in Demon Souls. It leaves King Allant to go do his thing. Also, King Allant's an asshole. Yeah, I've been chucking through Demon Souls and stuff, playing a faith build in Demon Souls, which is different, I might say. I've never actually fully played a faith build in any of the Souls games all the way through, so it's interesting. Also, while I was playing this, people kept goddamn calling my house phone and my cell phone in every single time. Every single time, I tried to pause the recording so I could answer the phone, and things weren't going well. Every single time, it seems that people gotta call me when I don't want them to. And it's usually when I'm recording. I don't know why. Sitting down, reading a book, no one's calling you. The second I start putting any kind of lines down on paper, 15 million calls. It's quite annoying. going with the purple. If you notice, I'm going with the purple on the shadows for this one. I don't know. I think the purple is a good use for. It's kind of like a desaturated purple, I want to say. It's like it's still saturated, but a little bit desaturated. Give it a little bit like a earthy, not an earthy, just like a light tone to it. I'm not very good with like shading hair and all that. I honestly don't know how to do that. It's confused me my entire life. Especially Jolyne's hair. Like, what do I shade on this? Do I shade all of the tiny bits, or none of the tiny bits, or how do I shade those little buttons? I don't know. As you can see, I have no idea how to shade those buttons. It's quite annoying. Yeah, usually I use a green for the buttons and stuff, but no, just gonna use a purple. I've used purple on other things. I was gonna use a pink, but then I was like, nah, that's too light. Then I was gonna use a gray, but the gray is too bland. I used to use gray on a lot of things for shading. Back then, when I was first getting started in all this art stuff, like digital art, and then I realized that if you use other colors for shading, it gives your picture a lot more like depth and personality. Really, I can't talk today either. Yeah, so like I was looking at some of the Udon comics artists like Chamba, Roboto. Is Roboto Udon? I can't remember. Looking at like Heavy Metal Hanzo and stuff like that, and they all use like color in their shading, like different shades of blues and whatnot, and I felt that like that added a little bit more personality, more depth to their art. Also, what I did there with the what's it called? The filter, I believe it is, where it's the blur filter. Basically, I just selected all of the skin layers, and then I went to the shadow layer. Then I selected the filter with the blur, the Gaussian blur, and I think that's how you say it. And then I just put it to about 6 to 8, depending on how much I want it to be blurred. And then it blurs all of the shadows within the that layer. And I used to blur all of that by hand, which took a long time to do, with a lot of erasing and just actual blur tool on it. But I figured that was a better way. And it looks a lot nicer too. It still gives you the cel shaded look with the softness of actual like blurs. Putting add glow for the shine on the eyes, I feel that gives it a little bit more brightness to the eye, which makes it seem a little bit more alive. And throughout this, I'm just gonna be messing with like different, like, what are they? Not filters, but ways to color the settings. There you go, settings for the shadows. Like multiply, overlay, all that stuff. Linear burn, color burn, all that. And I put this on subtract, and this is actually a. Also here, I'm fucking up a lot. And yeah, I tend to hit the rotate key on my computer a lot, and then draw, and not realize that I'm rotating the canvas like 360 degrees in both directions, and then everything's upside down and rotated, and it's painstaking work to get it all back together. In this, it's actually a darker purple, as you can see, but if I put on like subtract, then the dark purple turns into like this lightish, turns into the exact opposite, which is pretty cool. Oh, that's linear burn. That looks pretty cool, but I think that's a little bit too dark. I don't know if I go with that by the end of the thing. In this image, I actually originally wanted Jolyne's face to be like squishing up against StoneFree for whatever reason, because you know StoneFree and Jolyne are they're best buds. They're stand-in user, and I wanted her to have like squished face, like she's getting all into it with well, not all into it, but she's like getting close with StoneFree. She's quote unquote feeling herself. You can take that out of context. It's probably really bad. But you know, she's like best buds with StoneFree, you know. You gotta aura some people every now and again. Oh yeah, here's me not knowing how to actually draw like his nose. I honestly don't know how to draw his nose. It's very weirdly shaped. Me and noses. Why can't I ever draw noses properly? That's two things that I don't know how to draw. Lips and noses. I learned how to draw noses in class in high school, but that didn't really help because noses are very specific to like many different people, and some noses don't look good on other people. Unless you're drawing Capcom vs SNK 2 art where everyone looks like Mel Gibson from the SNK side. It's very funny. Go to Capcom vs SNK 2 and then look at like some of the SNK art. Everyone looks like Mel Gibson. Also, we've got to draw StoneFree's radical shades, because they are pretty radical. Look at those shades, they're so cool. Also, I completely forgot that StoneFree had another ear thing on the other side, and I forgot to draw that. I'll draw that in later. Also, these little like fin things on her head are very weird. I don't know exactly how to draw those, or how thin they are, or how like do they thin out or thicken out at the top? I don't even know. And I made sure to draw the sunglasses on a different layer so I could do this bullshit, because I knew that this was gonna happen. And now you can see that I actually don't really know how to draw StoneFree, even though I had a reference up right next to me with StoneFree's like full body, but I didn't really look at it as hard as I probably could. I got the basic gist, but there's a lot of little details on StoneFree that I just couldn't see in some of the references that I had. And I actually didn't know StoneFree had breasts for the longest time. I thought StoneFree was a guy. It was very confusing the first time I saw StoneFree with, like, in full figure. I was like, what? She has breasts? StoneFree is a girl? Why? Wait, does it even matter if the stand is a female or not? It was confusing. I'm just adding a tiny, small, like, little notches on her chest because why not? Even though StoneFree's a girl, even though StoneFree probably doesn't have those add-ons on her, Why not? Oh, I'm gonna do some weird stuff here. I'm gonna select everything around both characters, add a base to StoneFree underneath Jolyne. Select all of Jolyne, delete all of the base that from Jolyne under erase all the extra base layer from for StoneFree underneath Jolyne, and then just select StoneFree's layer. And now I have just StoneFree that I can color. Using that lasso tool that I so desperately love. Not desperately love, I just love it. It's great. You can just lasso an area and then it colors it. It's great. I don't know why I never found that when I was like first starting out, but I'm glad I was looking at drawing videos and noticed people were using the lasso tool. That's pretty cool. Also, as I'm playing this right now, commenting, I'm also playing Demon Souls. I gotta grind Faint Stone for a weapon I have. There is no Faint Stone in this game, by the way. Like, there is none. Maybe I can buy some from the old lady merchant. Switch to my fucking... There you go. Switch to my shield. I hate these goddamn draglings that are here. Oh. Oh man. Look at that painstaking detail on the detail. Just bullshit on StoneFree. Gotta paint all of that. StoneFree actually ended up having a tiny bunch of small little area that had a color. Also, I don't know the color for that like mechanical stuff on her. And I obviously don't know StoneFree's like actual like color scheme. I may have gotten this all wrong. I may have gotten this right, because I've only seen StoneFree in black and white. Yeah, I haven't read any very good scanlations of Part 6, but like I've only seen StoneFree in black and white, and in that one JoJo's game on the PS1 that was actually pretty good, and in the new JoJo's Bizarre Adventure game, but I keep forgetting what the color scheme is, so I just did whatever. Yeah, also not much to say about the shading. I'm just drawing in an area and then turning to the paint bucket tool and painting in like and filling in like the areas in between the lines. It's not a tricky way to do color. It's also not that hard. It is a very effective way to do it, but if you're not used to it, then it's kind of weird. If you want to like just color in the area little by little, if you want, you can do that. If you like what's it called? If you like to use the airbrush tool or like the actual like paint brushes that are like a soft brush or whatever. Maybe you're on Photoshop, maybe you're on Paint Tool Side, maybe you're on fucking Jask or GIMP. Maybe you can't do all the stuff I'm doing. And just do it whichever way you feel is best for you. I've actually tried to use GIMP once. It didn't go so well. My tablet doesn't like GIMP in the sense that I tried drawing a straight line and the line went into 9 different directions before going in the direction I wanted it to, which wasn't very good. I stopped using GIMP after that. But you know, if you want to use GIMP or you really, if GIMP is really all you actually can use, then go by all means, go right ahead, use GIMP. I know a few artists that use GIMP, and they're actually pretty good. They do some pretty crazy, like, what's it called? They do some pretty crazy, like, shading and lighting on their characters, which is really cool. I think at this moment, somewhere soon, someone calls me on my cell phone, and then you'll see me fidget with like alt-tabbing out of stuff, and then I like end up going right back to whatever, because they hung up. It's like, if you're gonna call me, please don't hang up on me. I really would like to know who's calling me and why. Like, just don't hang up. That's not cool, man. Oh, just bump the mic there for a second. Oh, my nose is really itchy right now. Oh yeah, right now I'm just using a gradient, just putting like a dark blue gradient on the bottom up, and changing the level of like how far it goes up on each character to emphasize that one's behind the other one, and also that to add a little bit more and a little bit something more interesting to the picture, instead of just having straight up like colors and shadows on it. Oh yeah, that's a sparkle brush. Oh, this video's almost over. Yeah, it's just a sparkle brush adding. Just make sure everything's all in line. Take away the sketches, make sure everything's fine, and thank you for watching.